眠るがいいさ。せめて今は甘い夢を。
What the f... Someone didn't encode that properly. Weird. Ah, gold medal for jury. takes Squad's transport vehicle and heads to the nearest town first, where he'd be able to have a drink or two at the tavern. In the early morning, cobblers heading into town to sell their wares. 2 boxes of tobacco would let them hitch a ride. The young soldier recalls those barns from back home, always filled with fermented smell of composted straw. Oh, she's like bagpipe, or he. Even now, that smell occasionally wafts to him in his dreams, making him to pinch his nose. But at the same time, it represents connection within his hometown. Only occurs occasionally, then so be it. He furrows his brows, quietly deciding not to continue the road with his sentimentals. Even if it's an only occasional, he doesn't want to experience the stench again. He must admit that it's always the biggest impediment every time he returns home. Bloody weather. Wasn't much better when we were stationed in Lake Thanian outskirts, but at least you could enjoy a little sunshine in the afternoon. Tell the captain, we can't see a thing on this weather observation outpost. Something's interfering with the radar too, we should head back. Caster... no. Caster's forces are regionally maintaining formation. Gododin? Gododin moved his men further back, other than a few familiar faces in toward the team, forward the team. Old Wellington's main force still hasn't shown up. Oh, those are names I need to remember now. Gododin and Wellington. Other than our dear Windermere, remaining 7 dukes are watching on the sidelines from the patrols over. So that's Saka's. Yes. I've been a soldier for over a decade. After drinking and playing cards, the most important thing I know from being in the army is those rumors you hear are always bunkum and balderdash. Never pay any heed to them. The officers in the back have their eyes on the map and will take care of everything. Ours is but to do and die. Their duty to defend Victoria? Only they can decide what Victoria is, boy. Ah yes, the cruel reality. Go and head back. Our day of peace is over. Treat myself to a hot shower. This damn fog's making me sick. Jesus, how old is he? Maybe things have been too stressful these days. The young soldier begins to thank himself for taking some. The battlefield always puts people on edge, even more so when you don't know or where war will break out. Or you can trust. He's to himself, it's a bit clammy. He lifts his hand onto the first button of his shirt, saying as how his dear officer had just declared the end of justice. A little disregard for protocol shouldn't matter. Thinks of the fireplace back home. A few years ago, he came home wearing a brand new military outfit, unwilling to undo even a single button despite sweating profusely from the heat. For that, the young lass surely laughed at him quite some time. Mister? The young soldier curls the corner of his lips. That's why I didn't bring you your sappy lover, not just a sister. Up, we start off with a random character having a good time and then now dying. Sag. Manfred. In preparations for the next phase, the Dukes will react soon. Your Highness? An honor to make your acquaintance as well. What is your name? Elbow. They still fucking treat her like a queen even though she died. And so soon, right? To be with them and then the aristocrats of the royal court. Each and every moment, collective souls of Sargas force me to my knees, immersing me in our long painful history. Yep, I've been wondering about that. Sargas aristocrats always remember. Because all the memories and history are passed down. Give me a tangible sense of the future. What should we do with this future? Consign it to another round of war sweeping across the land? When scorched earth spread as far as the eye can see, will these new seedlings sprout as we hope? Hope is as weighty as ever, Manfred. In accordance with the military commission's plans, a section of Lone Dominion has been detached. As of right now, it has arrived at the designated location, parked between the main city and encirclement. Our next offensive in this airship will temporarily dock here. It's supposed to be docked. The Duke of Windermere should soon receive news that her high-speed battleship has been destroyed, but she also cannot ignore the threat that this airship poses, which in turn will help Aszien King's front develop. I don't know. In accordance with the Regent's instructions, we must next take a look outside, General. And flames burning before his eyes are not as exhilarating as he had imagined. Firelight is blinding. What do you mean, finally? It's been happening. According to the military commission's predictions, the Dukes will cautiously proceed with military operations within 16 hours. We have already made our preparations. War never ended. It's not only ranks stripping through other ranks that is worthy of the name of war. those eyes lurking behind the curtains, those curses whispered in the dead of night, those suppressed cries are all his compatriot who perished alone in the barrens, his robes dragged across the ground during the Black Processions. Those casdales, bricks, and tiles sealed away in a collector's glass display case are also all war. Huh. Sealed. Taken away. Physical. Has always been a part of us. We simply push it out of. See you once again. Even if the flames of war were ignited in Victoria, Azazel has always been a part of the battlefield. I've already made many plans with the General about this. Oh, Manfred, that is not what I'm asking. Simply observe that beneath our feet, the shadow of this airship covers all indiscriminately. Put an end to it, General, for this ultimately is proven to be the way for this Arcas. And drown with tears, and bury suffering with suffering. Oh, look at you. You actually have doubt. Good, you're thinking for yourself, Manfred. Okay, lenient point of view now. Harbinger of destruction, the prophet of turmoil. Nightmare given form. Why does that line sound so familiar? Eh. You ever see the goon piercer as big as a mountain, lugging along its chest of a perfume? Eh? Just like Red Nose Humbert talked about. Lugging along its chest of perfume. I am missing something. Nine said before, you're in condition to be drinking. I only had a sip. I don't have much time left. Leave me with my last bit of hope. Come. Still remember that night on the snowfield, right? Everyone was freezing to death, and Red Nose Humbert told us about a strange legend from his village. Or a sign on Victoria. I thought. Yeah, Red Nose Humbert died back in Ursus. He was a good guy. At least 4 of those, but only the bastards with him. Sign on in Victoria. We're still getting new reunion members, so just not the old ones. Ah, why the fuck are they why the fuck are they still expanding, man? It's like RI, I guess. Much better appreciate him and his stories. Gotta pour one out for him. Excuse to drink. You're drunk again, Romanich. How many times do I have to tell you? Hand over the flagon. I mean, I don't have much longer to live. Come on. That's all I've had you if you listen to the doctor. Well, come on. We'd see those city walls in just over a week. It's faster if we could fix that piece of junk car. Are they walking? Or are they on an airship? No, if they're on an airship, they wouldn't be fucking talking about a car. Don't see catastrophes too often around London Minion, but given the current situation, it is virtually impossible not to bump into any of those Duke's troops, and none of them are gonna welcome us. Osaka's on top. We need to be even more cautious during our subsequent. Where is Tallulah? We need to find our trap people. Still think there are people or not? Getting everyone back together is difficult, but we still feel the same pain and share the same sorrow. Those feelings never stop chasing us, and they force us to keep moving. Not saying I'm not saying that just to cope, but this is the only thing we can do with full peace of mind. Those infected on the verge of despair know that they still have comrades out there, and that lives are disposable. The Union is so close to RI now. Stay where you're. Lightning. Taught me a few things. Oh yeah, 9 is actually pretty. Come on, 9, take pity on this old man. Let me have a sip. Otherwise, I'm good as dead today. Did you see that? The edge of the sky. Good, I'll tell you. So that was the other shore. 3. What the fuck is happening to you? You're actually too drunk. It means tomorrow will be a good day, my friends. Also, I'm very fucking confused. Are they on the move, but someone is drunk? Sleeping. Oh, right. Did you look at the tutorial? They're actually using 4-star units now rather than the 2 and 3 stars.
面倒だな。
It's no clear
どう
visual.
ぞ。
Do they only start when they block, or what?
どうぞ。
No, when they are in range.
準備はできたか？
Could have made this better. It's so fucking transparent. Oh god. So different.
「どうぞ。もう仕事を増やさないでちょうだい。ほらほら狙ってー。来た狙ってー。
giving me that? Why don't you give me S2?
Mission accomplished.
Also, it's kind of funny when our star. Holy shit, you're alive. When the star of the show is a vanguard and they decide to limit DP gain. Oh, I can do story mode? Hmm. And they cost no stamina. That is so cool. So, hell, no, I'm not doing it right now anyway. 21, that was so high. You didn't say that don't use. Okay. Specialist pretty much done then. As Vanguard. And they're all 200. Want to actually level you, but you.
他の人と一緒に戦うの？戦いの相手は誰？
We confirmed that a high-speed warship belonging to the Duke of Windermere was attacked by an unknown sarcasm weapon. There were no survivors. Rip that guy. Our preliminary conclusion is that the weapon in question is indeed the structure that briefly appeared in the skies over Londyminium. Based on our frontline evaluation from the observation team, the weapon's powerful mid-air suspension abilities and the efficiency of its original arts generator deserve due caution. Well, something that can kill a whole ship down and then kill everyone else definitely inspires caution. It is impossible to evaluate the Sarkaz technological base for manufacturing large-scale armed aerial vehicles given the mission we currently have. We are in the process of gathering more intel. However, until it has been proven that Sarkaz possesses the technological means to mass produce such weapons, we would recommend against categorizing this target as the highest threat level for the time being. Its countermeasures will have already been deployed. Man, keep expanding. I want to see the map. Duke of Caster, Duke of Wellington, Duke of Windermere. Does yellow mean dead or neutralized? Windclad Galavay? Is that the airship, or is this the airship? Show me these are the airship and this is a scout or a ground team. Should also be noted that Norport Borough, London's old logistic district, was separated from the main body of London City yesterday. Plate is now docked by itself between the city and London peripheral front formed by the various dukes. We have reason to suspect that the Sarkas are trying to convert this plate into forward operating base, using it to support their slate of large-scale military operations in the foreseeable future. Almost likely also be used as a temporary stop for that large-scale Sarkas weapon. Current commander of the London Defense Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Leto, issued a statement claiming that Norport was accidentally separated from the London's main body due to technical reasons. A large number of Londonian citizens still remain on the plate, and the defense forces are preparing to launch a rescue plan for these citizens. The remote observation team has provided several photos taken on the scene. At this moment, we are not planning any large-scale operations against his plate. However, intelligence personnel believe that a series of irregular staffing transfers between the Duke of Windermere Mobile's forces and Ironclad Galavay over the last 8 hours is likely related to the situation in Norport. Several analysts have pointed out that the Duke's military claims to this plate are more radical than we previously anticipated, and the specific reasons behind this warrant a more in-depth investigation. Monitoring the other Duke's attitudes and subsequent actions in response to the Sarkaz attack. Submitting routine analysis report at shorter intervals. Waiting for their instructions. Okay. But it gets the job done. Know full well that we all care greatly about our own reputations, especially in the face of Victorian's coming future. So they also decided to throw out a bit of a bait. Flying Fortress. It's me to say this, but as long as they're holding Norport Borough at gunpoint, things are going to get messy. Now, even Wellington doesn't have the nerve to rush over with his high-speed warship, main fire down to old logistics area, and snatch away his neutral. To resist the temptation. Affirmative. Duke Wellington's troops have sped up their advance. Spec has already gained intel on the airship. Are we not getting a name from you? And this massive airship is indeed being calculations, and it has potential to reshape future wars. But as the intelligence says, we are far from the point of things spiraling out of control. According to our estimates, even if Sargas had a secret channel for exporting supplies, he wouldn't have had the time or resources to build multiple airships. Those damn devils can hardly bring out the value of this technology, but perhaps we can. That's right, naturally. This is extremely important to me, even if I don't give the order. I expect that you'll bring it to me. Oh fuck. Okay. However, our gaze ought to be cast wider than this singular piece of technology. Yes, we've let the sarcasm run amok in the shard for far too long. Even the most dim-witted fools will eventually figure out what lies behind those buttons and levers. Allerdale, I don't blame her. She was never ambitious enough, that was her strong suit. And I allowed her to keep it, but it doesn't look like there's any way to make use of our Stone of Sword. Our Stone of the Sword. Huh. They're never gonna name that Excalibur, will they? Rest assured that the dukes who supported you along with their vassals are still resolutely on your side. I promise them peace, safety, and I will deliver. Are you perhaps a person we could trust? For honor wants commitments, that has always been the motto of House Caster since ancient times. Trial by Asher. It's already being dealt with. Naturally, they always have a way. Then your grace, but the citizens of Norport. Lieutenant Colonel Leto said that he was preparing a rescue plan. You won't go wrong putting your trust in that Gaulish commander. I've met him before. He is an interesting man. I have read Leto. Sargas have never publicly claimed to occupy Londinium. It has nominally been under the control of the defense forces. And this lieutenant colonel has managed to survive in his position for 4 years without getting caught up in major trouble. Well, devils are like, so the fact alone is respectable. Who knows? Maybe more keen to becoming a savior than we are. See what you're saying? Putting the right people into the right positions and turning valid friends into partners is harder than we usually expected. Old Wellington knows what I want, and we have never talked about these things openly. Naturally help each other, all while keeping an extra knife sharpened for when Dermir's been playing with the Lithuanians for so long, it might be a while until she remembers how Victoria works. That's a she. Okay. Indeed. We still don't quite understand why the Duke of Windermere is so keenly interested in Norport's affairs. Does she also want that airship technology? She wants to add another card to her hand. She knows she is in for a rough time soon. Opportunity comes desire. Whereas honey, equally effective at leading people into the abyss. A cousin of mine failed to understand this, which is why he's been dead for 26 years. Who is this? Who is this cousin of yours? Is he the king? You know, he still appears in my dreams from time to time. Can't say I ever liked him. He was a bombastic, self-righteous boy. When we were young, he'd run up out and down corridors of the palace, pouting coats from past kings he saw in some book. And it always spewed the same tried platitudes. A role model for the masses. Noblest of bleach. What have you. He treated those words as his guiding compass. Though they probably didn't even come from the kings they were attributed to, In all likelihood, they were all flattering embellishments added by the royal archivists. He actually believed those words and paid the price for it. He is a king. But despite all that, I sometimes still miss him. During those years, he was still around, and that all was well. But now, even the dullest of men must open their eyes. Open their eyes, and bear witness to all our ugliness, covetousness, and opportunism. War has broken out, and its advent has fulfilled everyone's wishes at all. Grace. It is also a chance to unite Victoria. Ha. Victoria has been trodden upon and sullied for far too long. You have the right to restore her glory. It's war is for Victoria. No, no, my child. This war is not for Victoria alone. Victoria, how we love to speak the name of our country. Now it's nothing more than a rag to cover festering abscesses when people are in need of morality. An empty husk to exploit, and the people are in need of dignity. There's farmers, laborers, soldiers, and nobles. These who despise each other, who go at each other's throats, while those lumping all of them together make them. Why thus? When they speak Victoria, what is that they refer to? Are the fields they've tilled for half a lifetime? The factories that gorge on their blood and tears? Collections of looted artifacts? Great halls of important carpets? A splotch of color with a line of text on an atlas? Or a news headline set economic figures on a television set? Or is it the vast, glorious, and invincible empire built upon the foundations of each man's imagination? Let us prepare ourselves, so let us wait with bated breath. Take a good look, witness where this war will take us. Huh, they're using the noble sprite for a timid citizen. This will only go. Means I have some valuable trinkets. Surely you've heard of Sargon's gems. I have a number of them here. Regarding you're not interested, huh? Must have a collection of old Glush meetings. They're said to be priceless. Oh, alright. Maybe I was out of the line. Say that this is going to cost me my life, isn't it? I bought a Sancta Patron firearm. Just happened to have one stashed away back home. And those angels from the tutorial are going to flay me alive if they find out, but if you're interested, I just happen to hear you the sarcasm enjoy collecting them, so. Miss Salo know about the War of Sarkaz and Sancta and the betrayal of the Sancta. Sarkaz, we just want to know what's going on. This is perfectly legitimate request. So many of us have been driven out of our homes and crammed into a little ghetto with no place to live, no food, no freedom, and now all we want is an explanation. Are all these houses not good enough for you? Pick a door, any door, knock on one of them, and get your sorry ass inside. What more do you want? A bathtub with back massager? You can't treat us like this. We are the defense forces. Oh, that's sad. I personally know Leto and want to speak with them. We haven't broken any rules. What the f... never seen this woman or this art ever mentioned anywhere on Arknights community. Specialist? Medic. Armed. I'm sorry guys, I've lived here for 30 years. This is my city, this is my neighborhood. What kind of a fuck dumbass do you think you are when you lost the war and you're still complaining? Oh boy. I know you've taken over those factories, I know you lust for afterlife and its wealth, so take it. Splitting off a few factories won't put a dent on Victoria's glory. Boy. A true believer of Victoria. But I'm my own man, not even the king can take my home. Technically they can. Tell me, why did Northport Borough drive out in the midnight? What's the meaning of all these walls outside the borough? So killed. Why do I know your face and your art style so fucking much? Actually, I need to know. What possessed you into thinking that you could challenge my authority? A waste. Listen up, you sorrow worms. To tell the truth, I'd like nothing more than to slaughter each and every one of you right now. Seeing your faces makes me sick, but the boss says you lot are still useful. So I promised him I'd show a little restraint. This is the grace I've afforded you, but know that I can take it back just as easily. Hurry, get away from here. Oh, he's killing multiple now. Run as fast as you can, pathetic recruits. You've had your fun already. Now it's your time to get a taste of the life once forced onto us. Hide in every nook and cranny, hide beneath every shadow, rip out your morality and swallow your dignity. This is everything we sarcasts have experienced. Now rejoice, because it is yours too. Call it equality, this is the kind of equality you've never known. Explain myself. Answer your questions. No, this is war, you dipshits. Learn it, embrace it, just like we did for thousands of years. I still want to know what's this hive mind thing going on with you people. It's like Sancta empathy, but way worse because it's literal history and memories. That's been passed down. That is a new character I've never seen before as well. Call me Baird. Baird? 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 Baird. You're hurt and you need your wounds dressed. Follow me. God, she's clean. That is a good looking outfit.
彼らが武器で私を傷つけるとき、何を感じるのかしら。
誰かが気づく前にあなたの死体を影に沈めてあげる。この時より秋だ。私にも雪撃砂に沈みて相思未だ報いず。
安心して、きっと大丈夫だから。
Did I really just block fake all of them?
私に接する時砂に沈いて相思未だ報いず
私についてきて永遠の故郷に帰りましょう
Nope, they're not all fakes.
海万物を一元に収むるは社者楽々の境地にこそあれLet's go. Guys, we're getting more of them. That's good to know. She is cool. Alright, we should be safe here. Cathar, Cathar, it's still a mess outside. Most certainly not in Londyminium anymore. I reckon we can see the situation outside the plate from the top of the old loading tower, but I can't get near it. It's outside the restricted area. And I reckon even if you could spot anything, it wouldn't mean a thing. The sarcasms keep a close eye. There are too many of them. Yes. Is this perhaps a brother to a certain cat? I forgot her name, the other Glasgow lady. Cador. Trying to talk terms with a sarcasm. Now, how did that turn out? Take a look at yourself. There. It's all I can do, bandaging your wounds. Thank you. Goodness, why? Just what happened? Oh god. What else could have happened? The Sargas have been in Non-Dominion for 4 years. Oh, they've been here for 4 years. How is this happening? How are they in disbelief that they are being oppressed? Can possibly still think that they were invited here by that sod Cavendish as his guests, right? They haven't ever what? You must be one of those noblemen who ever leave their mansions and need their maids to fetch them their own mornings. What's this milk? But you fall so low as to find yourself in Norport. No, I'm but a scholar. I've merely run into certain troubles financially. As soon as I finish my manuscript, I shall. The manuscript is still in my study. Fired. Really got a knack for finding this poor town on their side, don't you? Let's have some respect. If all goes well, it's very likely I will become the Royal Academy's Sciences and Ethics Academy. Aszien. Very likely. I still don't understand. They just kept saying that all is well. What more do you want them to say? Friends and assistants, I sincerely regret to inform you that the Londyminium is now a shithole. Special instructors that they sent to the newspaper offices, TV stations actually earn their keep, you know. You see whose flag they're flying above the munitions factory in Highbury? If not, you've got to at least remember that the fire of Octerig, they're they, right? The war. What about the defense forces? The Dukes, aren't they defending us all around Londyminium? Well, trying. How can this be? Sarkis can possibly triumph over the Dukes, can they? The Devils are a bunch of savages who cower in the wilderness. But Victoria is the greatest country across all the lands. Well, about that. Told you that. Did you realize that out of nowhere while munching on cake at home? I didn't feel that way at all when the Devils held me up against the wall and frisked me. Alright, next academician, off you go. You don't. Slightest idea where my loyal servant is. I don't know. Can't do medical work, sewing, repairing, anything. But at least chaps ever studied how to turn an air into a steak? What? Oh god. Oh, this is something you need to be pasted. The belief in science is too much. Delphine managed the warehouse. Okay, so connected to the unicorn lady. Right? No, you're not. Who the fuck are you? Top heavy lolly with one eye covered. Now, where have I seen that trope before? I can't very well watch him die on the street. Times like this, we have to come together and unite as one. And having one extra man on board is more power to us. Oh, from your looks, I did not take you to become the optimist. Come together. I wish Parliament and the Dukes would learn from you people. We wouldn't have fallen to where we are today. It's true. Think they're not united enough? They were all very united when it came to hanging the king. That was... No. I just hope you'll be of some use, Mr. Next Academician. I shall do everything in my power, though. Speaking of which, who would all... Oh, welcome to the our gym, Slobberknocker. I want him as a unit. You can call us Glasgow. Glasgow. Heidi, how have you been? Talking to Heidi. Who is this? Soldier haven't as of late. Ever since Mr. Adams, the bookshop tied. Oh, stupid. No, says I haven't been able to reach her. I was thinking Heidi was a cat, but no, Heidi is the one obsessed with the cat. Calcent. It's been a very long time since I last continued our work. Forgive me, my dear friend, I never hide anything. But I'm truly very befuddled. Coldly. Told me that peace would come again. But I can't fool myself with false hope anymore. Can't hide in my room. Still meaningful. We could look for years. We look at things on a broader scale, the dimension of history. Of course, peace will come, eventually, and war will undoubtedly shatter it in an even crueler way. Once thought we could win, and I still hope that we will win. But Heidi, if everything that we have done amounts to nothing but self-comfort, No, not if. This might. These books, this desk, and this school may come crumbling down at any. How are they meant to stand up against the force of a new era? But this has been happening since 4 years now. Eddie, I can't keep going. What should I do? Lady Golding, are you alright? Molly, you're back. Letter? No, this is nothing. I just remembered a few novels that I read before. The protagonists are always charming, suave, always heading to the front lines wearing a uniform, them with a pipe in their mouths. But the authors never tells us which battlefield they head to, how their trenches smell. So enamored of the protagonists, both taste fine desserts with anxious hearts. Of course, we all know these are just literary techniques. The stories always end happily. Well, depending on the genre. Authors with a little bit of ambition might try to build what the critics call a perfect atmosphere. The stories are torn with preventable deaths, and they are always protagonists' comrades and dear friends, dying in trenches to shield the hero. In the end, the wretched enemy finds themselves defeated by the hero's sword, thus restoring justice and morality. And at his fallen friend's funeral, a solemn crowd gathers to remember his heroics, as petals symbolizing honor are scattered atop the casket. This is the emotional part. Mostly emotional. Holy shit. Is this... Wait, no, we already had a friend who died. That's Artorias. I forgot her name. So this isn't foreshadow. One's gonna die. Probably. Hopefully. This is the most emotional part. The protagonist clenches his fist, wipes his tears, and looks towards the morning sun with resolve. And without fail, the call out. And without a fail, they always say that the hope will come and all sacrifices will be made. And there, where authors stop, the author stops. Let the readers imagine for themselves what truly beautiful future let them bask in the stately. Let's read these kind of novels. It was years ago. Everyone was that engaged once. Oh yeah, you wanted to be a hero. Like the Steam Knights, if I remember. Used to be obsessed with these books when I was still a young girl. I wasn't very attached to the protagonist actually, but I was indeed obsessed with those deaths. Same. Sometimes I imagined myself one of those heroes who sacrificed themselves for their cause, and the masses would sing my praise for the era I helped create. My sacrifice. Ah, childish. Later on, I thought I'd be clear-headed enough to see past these sugar-coated fantasies. But then I started to notice that there might be nothing between who I am now. Don't say that. Told the children yourself, this is a solemn topic. Ah, did I? Perhaps it was just the lectures that I've got so used to giving. How was procurement today? Not too bad. The situation on the streets isn't serious. Prices at the shops haven't gone up. Oh, there were more city defenses, soldiers than usual, and the sarcastic soldiers. They are not as secretive as they used to be. But everyone's pretending as if nothing has happened except what used to be the Northport. There is nothing left except the support structures extending from the surrounding districts. What about those places? I need to say to you again, I should never have dragged you into this. It's just his eyes on me, and every time I step out of the door, I find myself followed by several ill. Choice but to make a Campbell that you're not much yet. quiet. I used passwords, but no. Should before you say there's no. So the all information of Self-Salvation Corps communications. You know, it's like the back of their hand. I've never been to these bases myself, but having analyzed the flow of information, they should be there. Doesn't take the risk. This goes against our established practices, but this information sounds like corporations, right? Many lives are on the line, then we must do this. Oh, you poor civilians. Look for a girl named Clovicia. Is there anyone who can get in contact with her? Tell them this higher network has been exposed. Say they must evacuate immediately. To Letta's office. I will try to buy time. Try to make the day out. I remember you having a line that's very good at lying to yourself. And that makes you braver. It's time to do that again. So the city shrouded in dark clouds and a blood-stained Sarkas flags flew above me. Outside the city, Virginium grew everywhere my eyes could see. So I rested throne towering above the lands, the masses kneeled before, crying tears stained in black. So the person on the throne waved their arm and the shouts that followed pierced the sky. Yet in the shadow of the throne, the cowering men lifted their heads ever so slightly. Felt what they felt. I don't know how to describe it, it was so all over, so stifled. I could only make out what was on the surface, that pain and hatred. With that on the throne, is it a feature that the collective souls of the Sarkas foresaw, or is this the duty of the King of Sarkas? Did Teresa have this dream? Could this be the sight she is looking forward to now? No, it can't be. Doctor, this dream, it doesn't mean anything, right? The doctor never lies, so that's weird. Either the doctor is lying here for the very first time, or quite accurate. I know I will bear the responsibilities that are mine to bear. But Silas' missions here is far from over. I don't want to see Dr. Calcit once more. Eh? It's just sitting there by her bed for a short while. You know, somewhere her bed for a short while, rather than staying with the wounded. She have more important work to do. As Colin being blunt, Closure wants you to know that she has finished analyzing the data from the command tower. Clovisha is calling. We need to reevaluate the situation on Dominion.
あなたは私をこんな風に扱うの？私にもこんな結末を迎えてほしいのかしら。本当にそう思っているのなら受け入れるわ。
Amiya, Doctor, you are here. As you can see, the morale here is rather low right? It's a mess. Please pay it no mind. Ever since Allerdale left, our logistics have been in shambles. Given the problems we face, this is the best solution we have. We lost many men in our last battle. We once thought that these sacrifices would not be in vain, and that as long as we stop the Sargas projects, everything would still be salvageable. Regrettably, they acted much faster than we anticipated. The Sargas, not only do they have the shard, they also built that airship. The report has been distributed to everyone. The airship attacked the Duke of Windermere's army out in the illusion of peace has been shattered. As for the shard, if the Sarkas willingly started this war, then their control of the shard must have been proceeded much further along than expected. Too afraid to make this gamble. Ida Jail once told me the legend of the sword. She said that the Sigh of Kings, capable of rending catastrophes asunder, is Victoria's strongest shield, with which the country can defend against the storms pulled toward it. She must also have told you that the stone of the sword beneath the palace exists precisely because there are a few who can activate this power. Siege, do you know really feel nothing from the sword? Maybe, I don't know, like a sense of being summoned, or perhaps there's a low heat. Maybe you can suddenly use some really wicked origin marks. Or just might actually be to sword is cold and hard and a little lighter to swing than a hammer, and not very easy to control the strength with. Anything else, if any part of you feels a little bit off, you should have this splash before it sees the battlefield again. There's a little rested. Seems we can count on the sword doing as much of a good turn, helping us fend off the threat from the shard for the time being. Hey, what the? A misclick. Also, this won't be guard. Finish up the Duke's Inferno affair. The Sargas might just think twice before activating. Right, the Doctor of Rhodes Island. It is better for this sword to be under our control than any other faction. At the very least, being able to prevent it from being an accomplice to this war is important enough. Is this important enough? Yeah, it's not time yet. Just about done analyzing that supply line, Doctor. Is Amiya massively mind reading people? On purpose? Or out of habit? It's practically guaranteed that the starting point is rural Brentwood, but it's got a lot of endpoints.
Aside from the munitions factory in Highbury, it's very likely they have a route that extends right underneath the shore. Ah, found out a way too late. Only we'd found out a month ago, no, 10 days sooner. Things probably would have turned out the way they have. That said, the intel about the supply line is still meaningful, Doctor. If this route is capable of the transport of heavy supplies and leads straight to the bottom of the shard, I tried. So the leeches joining the fray would be a problem, but from what I know about them, they wouldn't truly pick a side. Besides, I'm sure Dame Gals had talked to their messenger before. As far as we know, the Lich is currently serving Teresa. I just hope that they opted to follow her advice. Now we'd best to at least bring up what happened. Sir, those sarcastic assholes got it out. Barrett is still there. Bloody bastards, instead of counter-offensive on their supply line, we should be helping. So I think being a knight gives you the right to teach me to look at the picture. I don't give a shit about wiping out some old sarcasm moments. My friends are in danger, my home is in danger. Want me to bully Sen aside and do nothing? I know you're restless, but we must consider all possibilities. Don't recommend splitting up until we are certain the ones who attempted to take Realmblade have given up. Thus, cover underground like cowards. Give me a break. We can take care of those sneaky bastards. What we have to do now is enough, Indra. When will the operation targeting Teresa's commence? Not very soon. Need time to observe the supply line's specific situation. Shard's internal structure needs to be investigated too. If Teresa's is powerful, letting our guards down spell our doom. How long will it take more specifically? Less than half a month. I need to put a stop to all this before it truly activates the shard. Good enough? Doctor, I am requesting a temporary leave before this operation. Please rest assured that I will be back before the operation is to commence. Since I'm going to Norport, I've lost enough friends already, Clovis here. I can't just do nothing over and over again. I am making this request out of my personal feelings, says I won't try to hide this. But at the same time, I think this is an opportunity before a normal operation officially begins. We can first remove certain hidden threats. For example, those who hurt Allerdale, and those who want the Sigh of Kings. That's without a doubt a Duke, no matter what position he is playing sick. I think I should have a conversation with him. As Colin said, this is already, but time is not on our side. I understand. I will handle this properly. Docked at Norport. This also implies she, Theresa, might be there. Oh, or the music stopped. This war, we will have to face her sooner or later. There is another thing Logos mentioned to me. See, emergency commission. Sarkas ambushed in the Camden Borough safe house. Either forces. Camden, what's going on? Alert! Safe house at sorry, being ambushed. Thanks, the safe house in Highbury is under attack. Mounting a counterattack and our regiment from the ground up. The situation's dire. It's likely that the Sargas have. This isn't a simple annihilation they are planning to. What's going on? We have 3 safe houses under attack by the Sargas. The communications have been cut off. We must. Our communications have been cut off. Gotta fight right now. Everyone in the Sargas thought is fierce. They have their eyes on this place for a long time, and their routes on the surface have already fallen. They? Mid-level buffer zone has been reached too. Doctor, the enemy is using a new Sargas witchcraft device. With their numbers and strength, our defense forces and Self-Salvation Corps friends won't be able to stand this assault. Truth be told, we have no chance of winning. Robin, who is in charge of organizing defenses, won't last very long. Half an hour. That's all the time we have. Evacuate where are we supposed to run? There isn't anywhere safe. Equipment factory, third warehouse, the car park at the Four Seasons department store. Maybe Viscount's Byrne's mansion. No, they're also risky. It has to be somewhere else. It's dangerous everywhere in Lodominium. We can evacuate the city for the time being. You can use the supply line in Highbury and get the hell out of Lodominium. Got too many wounded men and non-combatants. Taking an underground route will help us avoid most of the fighting. The onslaught we are facing tells us that they simply thought they had no need to wipe us out before. Now that war has broken, the military commission has started to truly see Salvation Corps as threats. We have no time to hesitate. I need to head out immediately to back Robin up. We'll try to draw the Sargas main forces' attention the best we can to cover your evacuation. Very well. The sea will need your assistance in this evacuation. Never abandon our allies. No point in her team by Aszien. It's a sure doctor. I will guarantee your safety. Like when he was simply pretending. If it's certain that this place will fall, I guess it won't matter if we go all out. Can we build this place? Next we need to find the entrance to the Highbury supply route. Fuck. Rock, you know the underground bus is better than anyone else. They will eventually safety with the closure. Take all the wounded and non-combatant and go with them. Running on you and Shiny take care of Aszien. Your ass again beat the crap out of you. It's you who should be evacuating with the rest of them. I mean, that's gonna make sure we'll be safe. Just won't let you get tight. So we got 3 teams. Horn, Misery, and Logos will lead the primary operation to resist the Sargas assault. Dr. Yugo with Amiens siege gangs to hold the other Sargas pursuers. Shani and I will follow the rest of the Salvation Corps and evacuate this place without making any noise. We're gonna meet up in the end. Small town outside Limium, Brentwood. Yes, the hoping Goldling is fine. Pretty sure she is too late.
みんな、ロドスに勝利の知らせを持って帰ろうね。誰かが気づく前に、あなたの死体を影に沈めてあげる。Easy peasy. この時より秋だ。Let animosity be gone with the blow.
安心して、きっと大丈夫だから。
誰かが気づく鉄撃砂に沈みて相思未だ報いず。あっちに行く。了解。ベッド、敵を左に引きつけて。
Let animosity be gone with the blow.
あまり待たせないで。
怖がらないで、同胞たち。すぐに着くから。
階級鉄撃
Let animosity be gone with the blow.
階級戦場に積もる恨みはいつか散らん。
Come in. You're here, Goldling. That's how you know us better than I've ever. What do you mean? This is C. Where did you get this information from? Doesn't matter. Have a seat, Lady Goldling. There's no reason for you to feel anxious. This war is not between you and I. Enter me, Lieutenant. I know why you came, Golden. You want to buy time. You're under the impression you have enough leverage to discuss terms you think still help your friends. Regrettable. I thought you would be wiser. We had a conversation not too long ago. You said you didn't want to see Londonium become the next Lingons. Take a look around us. Take a look at the abyss that Londonium's plunging into. Is a choice you've made for yourself that you've spoke about? Totally. Didn't you rebuke me for that? Correct. We are plunging toward that abyss. War has begun. War wasn't torn apart Gaul, our homeland. Yeah. But will it tear apart this time? Maybe it will be the Sarkaz, maybe it will be the Victorians. You know how distressed will be hundreds of thousands, millions of people will bleed, die, burned by this era. I know that better than anyone. That is correct. I know this very well. But I must also admit that it was you who opened my eyes. You made me reflect on my decision. If I had to question my conscience, I would not have cared nearly as much. Let us cast aside those hypocritical high hopes of mankind and civilization, Goldling. We're young, we talk freely of these subjects and with nothing but admiration in our hearts. Sung the praises of the outstanding men and women in history. Mankind, the master of all things, our intelligence and bravery, set us apart from wild beasts and grace this land with this radiant merit. If we simply lifted our heads from the books and compare, we would realize how close their endings are to the reality before us. The same downfalls, the same rottenness, the same self-destructions. Out of all those things, we're seeing the praises offer nothing but temporary illusions. What if believing that they are eternal make us naive? What if destruction was our true nature? You weren't so pessimistic before, Leto. Pessimistic. Golding, you are so kind with your choice of words. You described my crazy musings as just pessimistic. I thought I warranted a harsher criticism. It seems you are not as resolute as I thought you would. I am simply exhausted. I'm really started to try facing reality. It is very painful, but I have no other choice. As for the conversation we had the other day, I can now offer you a new answer. I did not choose any mission for myself, Lady Gold. I only wanted to survive the ceaseless destruction. It's pitiful and weak, insignificant and inadequate, but this is the answer I arrived at. That is the only one I have to offer. What else can I do? You're a soldier, you should have followed orders. Whose orders should I have followed? The king is dead. Sark has run the parliament, and each duke has his own master plan. You could have become a hero. At what cost? What if the price is not one, and I can't afford? When you walk into the room, did you see the eyes of the guards standing by the door? The officers under me, my comrades, and those bewildered young men. Till has 5 children, Sasan's mother has been paralyzed for 3 years, and Toten's brother has neuropathy. The vampire will suck their blood dry. Bowing down will not. At the very least, nothing has happened yet. So today, Golding, it is my hope that you survive this as well, speaking personally. Fundamentally, you and I might just be kind. It is only that I have chosen to give up while you are still standing firm. You and I are nothing. Ask me where I obtained the information about the Mr. Sewer's corpse. Very well, I shall answer you from a cowardly teacher. Look at yourself, Golden. Your blunders and the tracks you've left behind are owing to your cowardice and fear. Sentimental kinds have never been a good fit for intelligence work. You've known that from the start. Can't be. There's been a lot of chatter on my communications here. Alert to say what's that. Okay, we've heard that before. dying because of you. You pushed them into the fire. This is what your fight brings. For that I can only. Back. You're going to work. We're on the back foot, right? I will locate the position of the commander. Amiya, maintain formation. Don't stop. Got it. Danger zone. I want to, more than a sneaky bastard like you, show yourself. The assassin of yours has already taken down the commander of service. You are safe for the time. I said show yourself. Your name is Ascalon. Is it impressive? Oh. Your name is Ascalon, is it? Impressive. Doctor behind me. Please, there's no need to threat the islanders. A few of my colleagues have touched base with Alexandrine not too long ago. Alas, it did not go too well. Our deal. Hammer, your highness, you are merely wasting your strength. As heir to the throne from a certain viewpoint, at least you should have at least a bit more patience. You said it yourself not too long ago that we should have a conversation. Think that the evacuation plan will be successful. Do note that this is a promise, not a sarcasm. Cool. Sincerest pleasure to meet all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope there yet remains room for objectives to coexist. An Aszien trial by Representative Lady Isabella Montague. Should have expected no less from a scion of a Count of Chester. Indeed, we are often referred to as a trial by Ashers. If you have the chance, please send your mother my regards. There's no need to alarm, Lady Montague. I harbor against you and your friends at the moment. It's a gimmick you have over the just for goodwill too. Not fun of having conversations next to a pile of explosives. For your weapon, Miss Ascalon, this is not worth it. Poseidon's Pharmaceuticals made a series of passages and call permits requests for a so-called industrial waste recycling and processing purposes, currently hiding within the territory of the Duke of Gododin. Currently 631 kilometers away from London Menu. Samia, I surmise your cycling work is proceeding apace. Do merely what we must be done. You've been very careful. You charted your course and built a well-hidden supply network around the ship. Used to avoid the Victoria's attention. No almost fooled us. Regardless of whether your intentions are good or otherwise, wouldn't you agree that discretion is the worst quality there is to a ruler? You deserve. Who do you serve, Mr. Trial by Asher? If at all possible, I would say that I serve Victoria. Alas, the reality is that I serve only a small part of Victoria. This small part is more than enough to keep me well occupied, however. Which means you work for one of those dukes. If the Duke of Wellington saw us as a threat, the Rhode Islands would already have been attacked. The Duke of Windermere's control has yet to reach Duke Gododin's territory, not by a long shot. From what I know, the Duke of Normandy is more interested in business. Most of the other dukes are fence-sitters. You work for Castor. Okay, the commander of Rhode Island. There exists very little information on you. We're under the impression that this was due to lack of importance. We will evaluate for internal appraisal. It's Rhode Island's worth to that part of Victoria you speak of. We actually do not have much interest in the so-called pharmaceutical company that deals in waste recycling. Your operator has very unique background. Moreover, she possesses something important. Ooh. Oh, okay. This is my job, Your Highness. Let us not make things harder for each other. Then to do with it, can you really get through the catastrophe that looms over above us? It is a mere tale. You cannot wield it to its true potential. Fulfill a promise. Promise? Followers' peace and safety. We do indeed have a certain technological that can immediately put this blade to good use, just as the Sigh of Kings once shattered London. Duke wishes for this blade to become a turning point for unity. In that case, those who aren't on your side will deservedly be swallowed by the catastrophe. This side will become the turning point. I have to take this risk. Yes. On time. I have to admit that you came well prepared. 13 small communication stations with 4 of them triggered passively. They were set up to automatically send out orders if they don't receive your message after 10 minutes. I didn't want to venture a guess or two what orders they were meant to send out, so I took the liberty of caching them all. I hope you don't mind. Even after they heard the word vampire. You're a vampire? That said, I believe that aside from the Sarkaz royal court, there are certain others hiding in the city who would be interested to learn of their existence. Tell me, where do you suppose I should take them? Ines, former Sarkaz mercenary, it is hardly surprising that you are still alive. We've determined for some time now that someone was behind all those little tricks around Londonium. Very well. We know that there is a sizable number of Sarkaz mercenaries inclined to leave the military commission control, but we both know that does not come without a cost, don't we? Our business partner might be in fairly dire straits. That's a face. You know you have more tricks up your sleeve, and we still have some trump cards in our hand. Let's stop probing each other. You are weaver range. Very well, let's make a deal. I have a tricky mission, but as you can see, I am not much of a fighting adventure. So you want someone to die in your stead? I have faith in your... Certainly you have already seen the airship that is currently parked at the now isolated Norport Port Borough. Make your way there and get your hands on its schematics. Send it for me. Get to live for now. Your friends, your allies, your wounded, and your landship all get to remain alive for the time being. It's no trouble at all to Victoria, but as the rest of you...
認する？
All for it.
おはよう。
I'm gonna cut this very short because I have to do something. Goodbye.